You may remember we've been talking about the targeting of Christians, specifically Catholics, by the FBI. And now Senator Grassley has sort of blown the roof off of it, if you will, showing that it was not some small, group, as they've told us many times. This was just, and maybe it was accidentally targeting Christians and Catholics. Thousands, at least 1,000. Let's just start there. Let's go minimum of 1,000 FBI agents were assigned to this.
So here's the biggest problem, and this is the old political adage that the cover-up is worse than the crime. And what we're seeing here is that Christopher Wray told Congress that this was a single product by a single field office. And we were fighting with then the Biden administration's DOJ and FBI with our FOIA, and we found out that was a lie. He lied to Congress. He said that it was a single field office, single product.
I like you said that like Maury Povich.
I was trying to channel my inner Maury. Yeah. And it was because we found out through FOIA that it was actually multiple field offices, including Milwaukee and Portland, as well as others, that were working on this together with the goal of it being an FBI document, an FBI kind of doctrine that they would follow in this new way to spy on and target Christians. And then that seemed bad enough. But now Senator Grassley has unveiled more documents that he has obtained from the new FBI that
let's have to remind people, because you think we've been saying so many issues with the FBI over the years that you forget that now there's a new team in charge. And even what Kash and Dan Bongino both said, which is actually some really good people inside of here that were being controlled by the higher-ups.
That's right. But here's the big problem. This was disseminated between analysts in 13 different field offices, agents in 3 different field offices, intelligence analyst, senior intelligence analyst in 3 different field offices. They viewed this product on Sentinel, which is kind of their secure way of passing work product around from the date the product was released on January 24th of 2023 through the day prior to it being leaked. But it was also disseminated through email distribution to more than 1,000 individuals in the FBI on February 2nd, 2023. And here's the biggest concern.
Just over 2 years ago. I mean, you're not talking about a very long time ago.
Here's the biggest concern.
You're already talking about it by then.
No one of these over 1,000 individuals contacted FBI with concerns, suggestions, or negative feedback related to the work product. The FBI only received positive input indicating the importance of further outreach and external dissemination of the intelligence to mitigate the threat posed.
So now we have to respond to, what do we do with this information? You got Chuck Grassley, spry 91 years old, coming out there and getting this information for us. So now what do we do? What can be done?
We also just sent, May 29th, just a few days ago, a brand new FOIA on this, because we're realizing, and after discussions even with our team, with Senator Grassley's office, that this was much broader, much more targeted than they told the American people. And so this new FOIA, the purpose of this request is to investigate how and why religious organizations and Americans are under surveillance. So when you get a new FBI, and you get great leaders like Kash Patel and Dan Bongino, we know there was a bunch of issues at the FBI under the Biden administration, and even the deep state FBI under President Trump's first term that he was battling the entire 4 years. It took this change in leadership. So we know there's a lot of issues. And sometimes you need the external organizations like the ACLJ, like Congress, to point those leaders in the direction of the bad activity so that it can be fixed. Because I'll remind you, in Senator Grassley's revelation of this, the 1,000 individuals that received this, no one contacted with concerns, suggestions, or negative feedback related to the product. And what was in that product that they should have? Let's remind you. They were talking about that they believe that radical traditional Catholics' interest is likely to increase over the next 12 to 24 months in the run-up to the next general election cycle, complicating the overall threat picture while also creating new opportunities for mitigation efforts. New opportunities, spying, putting people in, observers, informants into churches. But then it also gets into why they think that these catalyzing events can happen, because they think that radical traditional Catholics have common cause include legislation or judicial decisions in the areas such as abortion rights, immigration, affirmative action. So leading up to the election, people that have beliefs and support conservative causes were seen as a terror threat to this FBI, and over 1,000 people got this, and none of them gave negative feedback until a brave whistleblower came forward and we found out about it.
Here's the thing, that person was very brave, a brave whistleblower, because look, most people want to protect their jobs. They're not necessarily going to come out there and not, you can assume that a good portion of them that even maybe felt that this wasn't right were not willing to take this up higher in fear for their jobs. We've seen what they've done to even the whistleblowers, the ones that have been on, we've represented. They've made their life living hell often. They've tortured them. They've pretty much said, we're holding up all your belongings. We're going to make your family suffer. This was not uncommon. This is what was happening. So you know what? You could say that 1,000 people were told and no one said anything. One person did say something, but it is okay to also understand that your leadership was pushing a vibe in your office where you felt threatened and you didn't want to lose your job. A lot of these people worked their whole lives to be at the FBI. And at least we have Kash Patel and Dan Bongino now saying, you know what? Maybe we were a little bit wrong, that not all these people were bad people that were there. There were some good people there. They were just scared for their careers. They weren't allowed to speak up. Free speech didn't exist within the FBI.
That's right. And one other thing that we find out, and we'll play this bite to set this up, is this was Christopher Wray talking with Congressman Jim Jordan about this 2 years ago. Let's go ahead and play bite 5.
Well, your FBI wrote a memo talking about radical traditional Catholics. I'm just wondering if you could define it for us.
Well, what I can tell you is you're referring to the Richmond product, which was a single product by a single field office, which as soon as I found out about it, I was aghast and ordered it withdrawn and removed from FBI systems.
One of the concerns that Senator Grassley has...
I wanted you to say is that was a lie.
Oh, well, sorry, I already did that. I kind
of got a double poke.
Wasted that. That was a lie. But in addition to that, what we also have is where he says, I ordered it withdrawn and removed from FBI systems. While that was appropriate to mitigate it being used as work product, one of the concerns Senator Grassley has is how it was removed from the systems may have hindered being able to get the information of how it began. Because when they took it off, it also took away the spreadsheet that logged who had accessed it, how it originated, and things of that nature. So there is concern that whether on purpose or on trying to quickly cover up that this even existed, that it may have harmed the ability for the new FBI to get to the bottom of the origin of it. And so Senator Grassley has a lot of things that he's asking for them to look into, pointing them in the direction, as well as with our new FOIA. This is how you help guide the leadership to points that are very, very necessary to get to the bottom of, so we can protect the First Amendment, the freedom of association, the freedom of religion in this country that the FBI was targeting with sending in informants, undercover agents, spying on Catholic churches in the lead up to an election. We know that James Comey's FBI interfered with an election, and it looked like there were still bad actors in the FBI that were trying to do the very same thing in the 2024 election.
We are so excited to announce the ACLJ's brand new app, completely redesigned to provide you with the best tools available to partner with us at the ACLJ. You can watch the daily Secular program, sign the petitions, customize your ACLJ membership experience, donate with the click of a button, and receive up-to-the-minute critical updates that the mainstream media can't censor. Just scan the QR code on your screen or go to your phone's app store, search ACLJ, and click install. It's that simple.